From Philharmonic Hall in Lincoln Center, home of the world's greatest musical events, another program of New York Philharmonic Young People's Concerts, under the musical direction of Leonard Bersntein. And here is Leonard Bersntein.
My dear young friends, I am happy and proud to welcome you to our 10th season of Young People's Concerts. Imagine, it's been a whole decade we've been playing and talking about music for you, and I don't know how much you've actually learned, but I like to think we must be doing something right because it's our 10th season. And to add to the festivities, this is also the first season in which all our programs will be seen on television in color, which is why I've got this modishly colorful tie on. And that brings us to our subject. What is a mode? Well, for one thing, musical modes have nothing to do with neckties or dresses or even with fashions of a musical kind. Modes are simply scales, though not perhaps those very scales you practice on your piano. They're rather special scales, and I wouldn't have dreamed of bothering you with them except for an incident that happened a few months ago. My 14-year-old daughter, Jamie, happened to ask me one day why a certain Beatles song had such funny harmony. She couldn't seem to find the right chords for it on her guitar. And I began to explain to her that the song was modal. That is, it was based on what is called a mode. And I went on to show her the chords that came from that mode, and she got so excited she wanted to know more and more about it. So finally she said, well, why not tell all this on a young people's program? Nobody ever heard of modes. Well, I thought Jamie is just a natural music lover with the usual weekly piano lesson, and if she finds this material fascinating, why shouldn't you? So here goes, and you can blame it all on Jamie. Okay, we already know that a mode is a scale. But first of all, what is a scale? I'm sure you know, but maybe you've never tried to put it into words. Well, a scale is simply a way of dividing up the distance between any note and the same note repeated an octave higher. Now, the most famous and often used division of this octave range in our Western music is what we call the major scale. I guess you all know that one. And the other famous one is the minor scale. I guess you know that too. Now, what's the difference between the major and the minor? Many people think the only difference is that major scales sound happy and minor ones sound sad. Well, that's sometimes true, but not always. The real difference is in the arrangement of the intervals. You remember how deeply we dug into intervals last season? And you remember we found that the smallest interval, that is the distance from any note to its nearest neighbor, is called a half tone. So from C to C sharp is a step of a half tone. And from C sharp to D is again a half tone. So it would stand to reason that from C straight to D is a whole tone, since two halves make a whole. Get it? Fine. Okay, now this entire C major scale is nothing but a series of whole tones and half tones arranged in a special order. First, two whole tones. 1, 2, then a half tone, then 3 whole tones, and then a half tone. That's a major scale. And the minor scale is almost the same arrangement of intervals, the main difference being in the third note of the scale, which in the minor is a half tone lower, so that the minor scale sounds like this. And it doesn't matter whether you start on C or on E flat or on Q sharp. You can always get a major or a minor scale by following the proper arrangement of intervals. For instance, here's a major scale beginning on F sharp. And that's called F sharp major. Here's F sharp minor. And he has a major scale beginning on B flat. That's called B flat major. And he has B flat minor. And so it goes. But the important thing to remember is that those two kinds of scales, major and minor, are modes. Major mode and minor mode. Two modes out of a much larger number of possible ones. Now, before I tell you anything else about modes, we're going to play you a short but marvelous piece by the great French composer Debussy. This piece is completely based on modes that are neither major nor minor. This brilliant piece, which is called Festivals, or in French, Fête, uses all kinds of other modes, which, of course, you won't know about yet. You'll just be hearing beautiful sounds that will seem a bit strange and ear-tickling. But we're going to play it again later at the end of this program, and I'm sure that by then you'll be able to recognize most of the peculiar things that are going on. So for the moment, just enjoy it and imagine a splendid nighttime celebration with many colored lights and lanterns everywhere, gorgeous fireworks in the sky, and everyone dancing in costumes of long ago. And suddenly, in the middle of the piece, the dance music breaks off, and we faintly hear a procession in the far distance. And this march-like music comes nearer and nearer, and when it finally arrives in all its glory, the dance music and the march music are heard together in an exciting blend of tumultuous sounds. And finally, at the end of the piece, it grows late, the crowds thin out, as does the music, and it all ends in a whisper with an echo or two of the night's festivities hanging in the air. Here is Debussy's